What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to break down why you should always get a home inspection when you buy a house, coming up right after this.
Your trusted real estate source, one video at a time.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, welcome. My name is Alex. I'm a top producer real estate agent out here in Washington, and I designed this whole YouTube channel around real estate. So think about subscribing if you're interested in learning more about real estate and how to make money through real estate. Now on to the video you're waiting for. Now, when you go through the process of buying a house, you need to make a decision if you're going to do a home inspection or do you not do one. And I'm going to break down 5 reasons why you should always get a home inspection when you buy a house. Now, an ordinary house inspection would cost around $300 to $500, but it really is a no-brainer and an insignificant amount of money when you think about the things that you can uncover before you purchase that house. And the first thing that you can uncover is structural problems. This could go down to the foundation. The inspector is going to check the foundation, and if there's cracks in the foundation, well, that's something you're going to want to know before you buy that house. And if you don't do a home inspection, then most likely you're not going to be able to know if there's problems with the foundations, because you're not going to be able to go into the crawl space. And there's certain things that the home inspector is going to look at that maybe you don't even have the experience. And now that you're gonna have the peace of mind once you get the home inspection that the structural integrity of the house is all good. The second one is checking for leaks in the house. A home inspector is gonna look at, if the roof is leaking. Keep in mind, in new roofs, it's probably gonna start around $10,000 and go way up, over $20,000. Depending on the square footage of the house, how steep is the roof. There's a lot of variables going into the cost of the roof, but a new roof is very expensive, especially if you buy a house and, once winter comes, it starts leaking. The roof, all the bathrooms, all the fixtures, all the plumbing in the house, you need to make sure that everything is running properly. Nothing is leaking, because the last thing you want to do is move into that house and you have a huge problem with, the plumbing and, there's water spraying everywhere. So that's the last thing you want to do. And the home inspector is going to check to make sure that all the house's plumbing and the roof is in good integrity before you buy the house. Number 3 is the maintenance cost. So this comes down to the hot water tank, the furnace. These are all going to be very pricey items once you have to replace them. So if you have a rough understanding of, hey, when you move in, maybe you have 5 years left on a hot water tank or 3 years left on the furnace, at least you can budget for those items before you move in, instead of being surprised that 6 months or a year down the road you need to replace the furnace and the hot water tank and you're hit with a huge bill. Number 4, and probably my most favorite reason why I always recommend my clients get a home inspection, is negotiation leverage within the deal. Now what this means is basically, let's say you do the home inspection, the inspector comes back with the inspection list, and there's around $5,000 worth of repairs. Now what you can do is you can go back to the seller and you can be like, seller, give me a credit of $5,000 for closing costs, or reduce the purchase price by $5,000. But at the end of the day, it keeps the negotiations turning, and it gives you a reason to negotiate a better price and better terms for yourself. If you're wondering, you're gonna spend $300 to $500 on a home inspection, I would say well over 90% of the time, you're gonna find well over $300 to $500 worth of repairs. Even if it's little stuff, it all adds up. And sometimes, like on my last house that I sold, there was electrical problems, there was a roof problem, and we actually worked down the purchase price by, I believe, $4,000 or $5,000 just from that home inspection. Number 5 is it gives you a way out of the agreement. What this means is the inspection itself is actually a contingency in its own form in a purchase and sale agreement. So it actually gives you a way out of the agreement and lets you get back your earnest money if you do not like what you see in the inspection report. If you waive the inspection contingency and did not do an inspection, well, this goes back to the negotiating leverage. You can't go to the seller at this point and say, hey, there's $5,000 worth of repairs. Well, there's going to be nothing on paper that was done by a professional inspector. That is just word of mouth. The seller's not going to look at that and be serious because you didn't do an inspection. So ultimately, what you get out of this video. If you learn anything, just do a home inspection. It's gonna be well worth that $300 to $500 that you're gonna spend. There you guys have it. Hopefully you got some type of value out of this video, and stay tuned for the 2 videos coming Wednesday and Friday this week. We'll see you guys then. Peace.